Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
We're the brothers, man. Coming back at y'all with Lord's will, another edifying lesson. As always, first and foremost, want to give all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, our teachers. Shalom to you, brothers, pushing this truth across the four winds of this earth. And as always, peace, blessings, and many salutations to you, sincere Akim wa Akwath, giving all diligence to make your calling and election sure in these last days.
Count the water boy. Shalom to all you Akim, you Akwat, and you brothers and you few sisters that subscribe to this doctrine that was given through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem El Shai. To our beloved elder apostles on down to the elder bishops, elders, and Akim pushing this gospel of truth and sincerity today. And peace, blessings, and salutations be unto you and your households, man. And with this is, an in-transit lesson. Just gonna bring out a few scriptures, man. Just speaking on ultimately that Walmart slashing these prices, man. You got a lot of, gas prices are starting to go down. You know what I mean? And when it comes to some consumer goods like electronics or clothing, so on and so forth, you got a lot of those prices, 50% off, this, that, and the third, and ultimately what it is a sign of a recession, man, or a sign of a depression, coming, man, but nonetheless, a lot of people, they see this as a good sign, when in reality it's not a good sign, man, matter of fact, let's go ahead and grab that 1 Thessalonians 5:3 Bible Kashaf. We can grab that, because man, for a very long period of time, at least a straight solid year, things have been, prices have been increasing, things have been getting worse, and then all of a sudden everything's all good, man.
Yep.
Everything all of a sudden prices are going right back down. People are thinking the economy is doing good, but that's not so, man. That's not so. And there's many different factors which, Lord will, this is just going to be a quick lesson. So Lord will, later on we can, do a sit down on it and go a little bit deeper into it, but none of these, there's so many factors of what is going to happen, or what is currently happening this moment that is, going wrong, right? Going south, right? But we're going to get this precept. Go ahead.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 3.
Right, and Slaki, brothers were posting this in the chat. You know what I mean? Brothers were posting, precept upon precept, man, going into it. Because this is heavy, man. And majority of people, they don't see what is coming, man. They don't see what is coming. What does it say in second? I think it's the 7th chapter. Why hast thou not considered the thing
that is to come, that which is present?
Right, man. More people are looking at what's going on at this present moment rather than looking just even a little bit on what's coming, looking into the future, so to speak, man.
Right.
They're not doing it, man. So this time that's to come, again, there's so many things that are gonna happen that are gonna affect the people. And they're gonna be asked out.
Yeah, straight up, man.
Straight up asked out, man. So let's grab that.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3.
Right.
It reads, "For when they shall say peace and safety."
And are they not saying that now, man? Prices are going down. Food prices even went down. Maybe, and I don't know the exact number, but just putting a guess out there. I want to say like 0.5%.
Right.
So it just dropped a little bit, but still, people are looking at that like, that's an ease, like that's good, like, hey, that's better than it going up,
Right.
But still, which is, it going down is cool, you know what I mean? It helps on the pockets, but you have to understand, what it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil, right? So you have to ultimately look, and see what is coming based off of what's happening, And most people aren't doing that, man. So at this present moment, man, this is a form of that peace and safety, man. Go ahead.
For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them.
Right, sudden destruction, man. When I was looking at another article that goes in with this, that ties in, with how the economy is doing, man. Because a lot of people would see these prices going down and think the economy is good, but you have to understand that jobless the jobless numbers are now, they're skyrocketing, man. Just not too long ago, I think it was last month, they were at 200 or the beginning of the month, they were at 251,000 people, jobless. Now it's at, and this is just talking about a certain area. I when I read the article, it didn't necessarily give me the exact area, but just in that small area, it went from 251 to 261. So the number of people losing their jobs because of prices going up, and food really hasn't even budged like that. Gas prices have gone way down, We've seen gas almost hit $2, gone down $2. That's a huge jump.
That's a huge jump, man.
That's a huge fucking jump.
Like a few weeks, if that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, right? And then you got consumer, you know what I mean? My wife is constantly reminding me, because I got little ones. She's always talking about how they got clearance sales on shoes and clothes for kids and stuff like that, man. And I'm looking at that like, like what the hell? Why all of a sudden they just go down? Why, start looking into it, man. Start getting that understanding, like what's going on, right? The scriptures say to walk circumspectly, right? So we pay attention. We want to know what's going on, right? And the article that I was reading is, jobless numbers are going up. On top of that, you have I can't remember his fucking name, man. There was a dude he's an economist, right? And he was predicting that there's going to be a huge loss of labor, man. There's gonna be a wage or labor shortages here soon, man. And he's talking about on mass numbers, man. So yes, you're seeing these prices go down, but the economy is doing worse. That these things are all signs of a recession, if not a depression, a coming depression, man. So you have to understand, it's going to get worse. Mm-hmm. It looks good, but it's gonna get worse, and it's gonna get worse than it previously was, man.
Yep.
You got a precept?
I'll finish this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Kind of says, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
Right, and it says as a travail upon a woman with child. Right? Don't the birth pains? Don't they start out lesser, and then they grow greater and greater and greater. So it just keeps getting worse from there, man. And we're in those birth pains, man. Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 14 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in verse 16, it says, "For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen shall be done hereafter," man.
Right. So there's going to be a greater the word escaped me, man. It's going to be a lot worse, man.
Right.
It's not going to be good, And that goes right into that 2nd Ezra 16. You finish that in 2nd Ezra 16 chapter 21st verse, man. Go ahead.
This is verse 17. It says, "Look how much the world shall be weaker through age,
mm-hmm.
so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein."
All right, increase. Right, go ahead. You can go to 2nd Ezra
16 and
21.
It's 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 21. And it reads, "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth,
mm-hmm.
that they shall think themselves to be in good case."
Right, you're thinking yourself to be in good case. You're thinking everything's all sweet and dandy, man. But that's not the case. Go ahead.
Right, it says, let me read it again. "Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion."
Right, sword, famine, and great confusion, man. And we ultimately see the famine happening right before our eyes, man.
Yep.
And I can just picture this, man, with all those prices that are, that are going down on these consumer goods and gas and so on and so forth. People are going to be buying these things up, man. Whereas food, the price for food is not really going down too much, but the price for electronics, the price for clothes, and so on and so forth is going down. So what are people going to do? They're going to look at that and be like, "Oh shit! Oh, I can get my I can get my Christmas shopping done early, or I can get this, or I can get that, or I could buy more for my kids for their birthday, which is right around the corner. I'll just buy it now." Yep. That's that and the third. When they're not even focused on the famine that's at play, that's taking hand, right? Hey, come on, man. Yeah, you people are ignorant, man. And this is what's going to come upon you, man. And we're constantly telling you. We're constantly telling you people, "Hey, this is what's coming. This is what's coming. You need to pay attention. This is what's coming. This is what's coming." Hey, but you people don't want to listen. You know, and at that point, it's like, well, you know, before you grab your precept, can you grab Jeremiah 15:2? You know, because again, this is one of the precepts, you know, brothers were posting in the chat when speaking on this topic, man. You know, at that point, it's like we can't help you. You know, if you're destined, you know, to you know, for that famine to, you know, to overcome you, then guess what? You know, as is for the famine to the famine, man. Let's go ahead and grab that precept over show.
Jeremiah chapter 15 and verse 2.
Right.
And it shall come to pass.
Right, meaning it shall. This is what's going to happen, man. You know, to those that don't listen, that those that forsake Yahweh Shem Shai, those that don't want to take heed to his prophets, you know, would speak his word through his spirit. You know, those that don't want to, you know, again, just listen, man. This is what's going to come upon you. Keep going.
Kind of says, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto me, whither shall we go forth?
Mm-hmm.
Then thou shalt tell them, thus saith Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, such as are for death to death,
right,
and such as are for the sword to the sword,
right,
and such as are for the famine to the famine, and such as are for the captivity to the captivity.
Right. So hey, so ultimately, whatever the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai has in store for you, hey, you're just gonna, you know, you're just gonna have to be given up to it, man.
Yep, you got to drink now.
You're gonna have to drink up that cup, and you got to swallow that shit the fuck down, man. You know, there's no way that you can run away from the judgment that Yahweh Shem Shai has ultimately preordained you to receive, man. You know, there's just no way, man. You know, so again, this is why we're constantly telling you to take heed. You know, we're constantly telling you to listen, right? Pay attention to what's going on, right? A lot of people will say they don't, you know, they want to look, you know, they don't want to watch the news, or they don't want to pay attention to what's going on because it's, you know, it brings them down, or, you know what I mean, it's, you know, the news just fear mongers and this, that, and the third. Well, it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter about what you feel. It's a matter about the simple fact that if you pay attention to these things, it'll ultimately help you to prepare properly, man, for what is to come. You know? Hey, but it is what it is, man. You understand?
Is it Jeremiah? We're going right into that, man. Hey, Yahweh Shem Shai, a lot of y'all who, you know, rejected, you know, the prophets, you know, and didn't receive this truth. Guess what? You're gonna be looking for some help in that time, man.
Mm-hmm.
But the Lord's not gonna be hearing you, man. This is Jeremiah 11 and 14. It says, therefore pray not for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Lord is telling Jeremiah in his time, don't even pray, you know, for the wicked Israelites, because they're doing things behind closed doors, you know, really just commit all different types of abominations, man. You know, following in the ways of the heathen, you know, serving other gods, you know, and defiling themselves with, you know, with sins, man. You see, so he always telling Jeremiah, don't even pray for those people. He says, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. See, so Lord's going to turn his face away from 2/3, man. That's what's scary. You see, scriptures talk about, think upon the time of wrath. Mm-hmm. The Lord shall turn away his face. You know, Lord, you know, send grievous famine, sending, you know, water droughts where there's no water in the land. All you got to do is watch the book of Eli, man, with Denzel Washington, and that'll paint a perfect visual of the times we're coming into, man. You see, the Lord's not going to hear, you know, a lot of people because they didn't take the time they had now and get right.
That's right, man. You know, and so as the scriptures say, man, such as to the sword, such as to the famine, man.
Yep.
You know, you're going to be, as the scriptures say in Isaiah, you know, 65 and verse 12. You know, therefore will I number you to the slaughter, man. You know, you shall all bow down to. Therefore I number you to the sword. You shall all bow down to the slaughter. We're paraphrasing that scripture, man. Yep. You know, so you're ultimately going to be put to death. And of course, we're speaking directly to, you know, as far as that judgment to 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you know. But ultimately, these lessons, you know, and all this information that comes out through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, you know, through His Word, is only for the elect, man. Because only the elect are going to take heed, man. And only the elect are ultimately going to, you know, receive this Word, you know, foresee the evil and hide themselves in the Scriptures, man. You know, the only way to hide yourself, man. You know. Calm, man. You know, so I just want to speak on that, man. Just give my little 2 cents. This brothers was, you know, ultimately talking about it. You know what I mean? Hey, don't, you know what I mean? As far as hey, these, there's something, you know, greater that's gonna come, man. Things are only going to get worse, man. You know, just because the prices go down does not mean that the hell or you know the heat that the Most High is putting, you know, is creating is gonna go down too, man. The heat's just only gonna turn up, man. It's only gonna get hotter, you know. Hey, so with that, unless you got something else. Khan. So with that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai,
Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, the great millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and sincerity to the best of their ability given to them by Yahweh Bahashim Shai. And peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election Yahweh Bahashim Shalom upon your household. I say Shalom, Kwame Shalom, and Abba Shalom.